Is it Saturday morning again? It is. Good. Coffee and Saturday morning collectors radio show back with you. All right. I tell you, you know what? It's always good that it's the weekend. Hopefully, everybody's week went good and everything like that. So, again, we got some comments here to read from you and do all that kind of jazz. I guess some people probably are tuning into this program not knowing what this channel, because maybe they've seen some of the older videos and have now kind of tuned into lately what we've been doing. Well, actually, this is what we do on this channel now, and you know what? It's been wonderful. Love doing this type of format that we do here now. I feel like it just gives more freedom to a lot of stuff that we get to do and talk about, and actually incorporate the very good, long-standing subscribers, loyal viewers and listeners out there, and read your comments. So let's go ahead and do that. No particular order. Again, sometimes your comment's not read. Sometimes your comment is pulled. We do have moderators for the channel. Obviously there's some comments that, that are made that are just, we're not going to read them because, either you didn't keep it friendly to the channel or, I guess to the format that we do or whatever you want to call it. So anyway, here we go. Or you've commented after the production of the show, which can happen. Some people are late to the show. Why are you late to the show? But either way, even if you're late, better than not here at the show. All right, this one here is from Jeffrey Richardson. Jeffrey Richardson says, "Good morning, sip of coffee, love them all." A sip of coffee. If that doesn't heat you up and cool you down at the same time. All right, Shadow Wolf, good morning. I love your videos. They are full of info and enjoyable. Thank you, Shadow Wolf. We appreciate that. We do. We like to keep the information going and sharing things. And, of course, we always encourage you, the subscribers or the listeners out there, people tuning into the show, ask questions, chime in on things that you may or may not have experienced on, or if you have a question on something, maybe somebody here can answer it. It might even be me. I might have an answer in a rare occasion. So, all right. This one's from DB. Top of the morning. I picked up a Smith & Wesson Victory 22 LR a couple weeks back. Got a smoking deal on it, and it's been so much fun to plink around with. That's awesome. First of all, I definitely, my Uncle Milton had one of those Smith & Wesson Victory models. He really liked it. He liked the fact that it was easy to kind of take it apart and mess with it. Unlike, I guess you could say, the old Ruger Mark II. I'm kind of old school. I guess I got I keep the Ruger Mark II around. That's mine that I've got. I paid like $200 or maybe $250 for that. I've had it for a little while now. And don't plan on getting rid of it because it's just such a cool, it's a cool 22, and it really just works no matter what. And I got it new, believe it or not. When I picked mine up, it was brand new in the yellow box. So I just I felt like, you know what, I've just got to have one of these things. Heel release, and I got the little, I guess it would be like the 3.5 inch barrel or something. That's the one I ended up with. The grips are kind of getting a little scratched up, but that's okay. That old type of style, retro grips on there. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, 22 is definitely. I think which one of us did not, grow up shooting 22. I know I did, and still enjoy it and shooting around. What I like the most about it is. It's fairly inexpensive. Used to be a lot cheaper than it is now, but unfortunately, I think a brick of 500 count is going to run you some money no matter what, like $50 or something like that. I think every now and then Wally World's got a pretty decent price, but I still think you're still running in the high numbers for that. And in fact, you know what? Oh, I don't have it here. I think I just picked up a brick of Thunderbolt, and I think it's a 500 count of Thunderbolt from the Cal's Ranch in town, and I want to say it was about $40. I think but they usually have really good prices. So especially for like stuff like that. So I want to say I think I did score that. It was pretty good. Not a bad price at all. All right, and actually, you got a reply to that, and that was from Jerry Johnson. It says, I got Smith and Wesson Victory Performance Center with the tam, tandem cross upgrades. They are awesome pistols. Wow, what is that? What is that, Jerry? Tandem cross upgrades. I have not heard of that. That sounds interesting. So Jerry Johnson's got a Victory Performance Center with tandem cross upgrades. Interesting. I'd like to know what that is. All right, Bohemian Hunting Club. Good morning. Old, new pythons. I'll take either one. Yeah. Well, I think if for as a collector, I'm always going to be a diehard collector. An old vintage one will always be, have that nostalgic coolness. I like the new ones myself because, you know what? We're going to say it. We white glove nothing and shoot everything. And that's one thing about the new ones is, man, you can shoot them and enjoy them, and they still have that really cool nostalgic look to them that has not gone away. So, and I'm just tickled pink with them. I think they're great. I think what Colt's been doing lately with that whole bit has been wonderful. All right, Sean says, good morning, y'all. Nothing wrong with splurging on yourself during the holidays. Go ahead and get that 29 and show it off. Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, and might have to do it. But there was another comment in here about it, and we'll elaborate a little bit more about that when we run across it. So we'll go ahead and we'll give a little chat about that a little bit. Led 8541, my buddy Led over there. Don't forget, Led's been doing some really cool videos on Saturdays as well, showing off some knives and stuff like that. Also, one of the coolest barbecue channels out there. Then again, you never know what Led's going to be doing and what kind of videos he's popping out. Really good guy, really good channel. That gold bead is high speed and great video. Thanks, Led. And another one here, Jeffrey Richardson. Awesome front sight. Yes, gold. And this one here is from Chuck. Thanks for answering my questions. Question on the grips. Can't find anything like any. I can't find anything like that I like. Any that I like. I need glasses. I'm sorry. I like. I guess I'm going to have to make some myself, or attempt to. I really like the orange color of your John Wayne grip. You gained a subscriber. We appreciate that, and thanks, Chuck. You might want to check out. What's his name? Buffalo Brothers Grips. Buffalo Brothers does do the John Wayne grips. If you get the heavily antiqued one, it's pretty aged. I have a set somewhere. I've got a set, and he does offer the big thick finger grooves on there and everything. Really good stuff. Not bad. I think he's about $80 or something for a set, but well worth it. Hopefully he's still in business. In fact, let me see if he is. Really good people there. Let's see, Buffalo Brothers grips. They're Buffalo Brothers Cowboy Store. They're still up and going. Let's see, where's his about our grips, our line. Grips are a single action army is where you want to go to. Scroll down and let's see, this is their front page. They have all kinds of designs, by the way. Yep, they still offer them. They're $75. They're called finger groove grips. That's about as cool as it gets. I've got some older videos on them that I published out. But yeah, his grips are pretty damn top notch. Good stuff. You can choose the level. Let's see here. Let me click on this. Yeah, here, finish, you can, yeah, heavy antique, that's the finish that I had done once. I even done the regular antique, and then you can do the color old ivory. So that I put that setting right there, heavy antique, old ivory finish. And honestly, the photo, when you're looking at his website, I can see the photo right now. that photo, it's darker than that photo when you get them. At least the set that I had 2 sets. Sets I got were darker than that and looked really good. In fact, I should dig out that set and put them on my other single action, just because they do look really good. So hopefully that helps you out there, Chuck. Always sharing information out there. There you go. Hopefully, maybe you can order a set from Buffalo Brothers, and they're be pretty, hopefully to your satisfactory. All right. In fact, I think he makes a lot better grips than most people out there. Definitely better than mine. All right. And this is from Crazy Scotsman. I'm glad to see you're getting good use out of that saying. Yes, absolutely. I love that saying. We're going to be using that all the time. White glove nothing, shoot everything. I mean, yeah, I like being a collector and everything, but I have got to that point where the beauty of collecting is you have the art. And what good is the art if you don't want to hang it up on your wall and enjoy it, right? Same thing. Take these babies out and run them and enjoy it, rather than having the art like locked up in a safe somewhere, never see the light of day. All right, I prefer, let's see, okay, 1911s for me. I prefer the Series 70 style with the extended beaver tail. I have shot the old school military ones that bit me instantly. Oh, you had the fun. That's the fun part. If somebody ever talks to you, say, I draw blood every time I draw my 1911. They go, what? And you see, yeah, get a little hammer bite right there. I have a high grip, so I wasn't surprised. Christmas only comes once a year, brother. I say go for the 29. Everybody seems to say I should buy that model 29. All right, like it's a bad thing. No, I tell you that's the hard part. All right, Slim Fire. Morning, JW, and I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I did. I had ham. I don't know about everybody else. We were kind of over the turkey thing, but yeah, it was a really relaxing day. Bake some ham, watch movies all day. That's the way to do it. Spend time, quality time. Forget about monetary stuff, and I think that's what Christmas should be about too. All right, I've always had to sell something to get something else, and that's the way it goes. I'm thankful that I've had it and enjoyed it. Awesome radio talk show, Slim. Yes, I tell you, that's the only way I've gotten a hold of a lot of the stuff that I've had now. New stuff like the Python was the big buy for me, that new one, and you got to get rid of things, and I unfortunately when I think about all the things I traded off, it's kind of sad because a lot of that stuff I miss. I mean, there's really cool stuff I miss, and it's like, and then you end up trying to almost buy it again or get it again. Looking back, I mean, it's like, gosh, I wish I would have kept that Beretta 92, and I had a Walther BBK that was really nice. I had really a whole bunch of Smith & Wesson revolvers that I wish I would have kept. And it's a bummer, but, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. You can either spend money that you really shouldn't be spending, or you go through and raid your rest of your toys and figure, well, which ones do I not play with and doesn't really, I guess I can lose it, and you lose it, and you kind of got to move on, and maybe one day you'll find another. It's a bummer. There's some stuff I lost that I wish I would have kept it anyway, but such is life. All right, this one here is from Steve. Actually, that's what happens when you're a working class person, and you got to fight for everything you got, and you live paycheck to paycheck. That's what that's all about. To us 9-to-5ers, right? All the 9-to-5ers out there, the people that are doing it, and the people who have done it, and paycheck to paycheck, right? All right, Steve says, oh, this is referring to his comment on his last one. See, again, I didn't know what you were talking about. So when he was talking about his revolver, it means he had a target trigger, a target hammer. I have a Model 18 4-inch barrel. Love it. Thank you. The Model 18, that's the 22 Magnum, right? If I'm not mistaken. The one we showed was a Model 17. Yeah. That was a cool one. That would have been something that I would have maybe messed around with. I don't know. See, I got bad luck with those, so I'm kind of staying away for now. All right, Fire. Fire says, if you can get the Model 29 Classic for around 900, get it. I believe Smith & Wesson also has a rebate right now, but not positive. They do. They do have a rebate. The end frame is a $150 rebate. That would be worth trying to do or get on board if I ended up with it or trying to get it. But yeah, no, they do. They do have it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it for 900. I think it's like $1,000 or $1,100 or something like that. So that's why I'm kind of reluctant right now. I'm not sure. Of course, for Christmas, the only person I'm really getting some stuff together for is my mom. I guess I'm lucky in that aspect. But another reason why aspect, I guess I'm in a sense because of my life choices. I am a little bit more free to do things such as purchase some things because I don't have like a family where I got other people to worry about. I pretty much worry about myself. My significant other, she's got her own thing going on. So I guess it's just like, I guess I'm fortunate in that, but that was a life choice, not bagging on somebody that made those choices. It never happened for me. And at my age already, so anyway, I don't want to be in a wheelchair watching my son graduate or my daughter graduate. All right, so here's another one. James Bell says, good morning to you. You should absolutely pick up that Model 29 for yourself. We all would love to see it here on the show. That would be a positive. Definitely, that would be cool. Also, do you think the new 2020 Pythons will have the same or similar collector value of the old ones? That one's from Cheers, and that's from James here. Yeah, I think it. That's one thing I was talking about when I said like my generation now, like me, being right there, like a 40-year-old being able to see the Pythons back as a normal production, like catalog, go through the catalog and say, oh, look, cool Python, I can order one. Or I go down to my local, like I said, I can go down to the local Cal's Ranch down here, which is like one of my favorite stores to just browse in. And I can go pick up a Python from them if I wanted to. That's what's, to me, is cool about that whole aspect. Will they be collectible? Yeah. Anything like that, super high quality, will be collectible. But I think it's also like, it's not going to be within, it'll probably be after me. It'll probably be the generation that's coming up. They will look at, these and they'll say, oh, wow, or, because all it's going to take is Colt to quit doing it. If they ever quit doing it again, or they do something so dramatically dumb to deviate from what they should be keeping tradition, as they say, then it would be collector's items. But I definitely think at some point in time they will be, for sure. Also, here's an example. The 4-inch model has 3 vent ribs on the blued version. If they ever decided that they wanted to go back to tradition, as they say, to keep tradition going, and remove that 3rd rib and go back to the 2 ribs the way it should be, which I'm not going to lie, it's not a deal breaker for me, but it has somewhat deterred me from getting one like so quickly. Like I didn't really jump the gun to hurry up and get one. Not to mention, it's like $1,300 or $1,400 price tag for them. But eventually, I'm not like saying I would never get one. I'd like to probably pick one up at some point. But if they ever did that and dropped that 3rd rib and then quit making it and just went for the 2s, the 3 rib model would become collectible. It probably collectible sooner than me having to die, and basically next generation coming about. So anyway, that's kind of what I think about it. If it was going to do it. All right, this one here is from Mike. Negative. Do not sell anything to get that 29 Classic. No, I wouldn't. That it wouldn't be something that the only reason I have an interest in it is because I want that newer production one because it'll handle better. Yeah, and I'll be able to fire moderate magnums. I'm not trying to rip my wrist apart, but it can handle moderate. It can handle. I just can. It's like the Python. I don't mind shooting 357 magnums in it. Do I shoot 357 magnums in it all the time? No, but I do bring some 357s to the range with it, and I kind of want that with the Model 29 as well. So, and I know the new model is built better. I know some people are going to be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that," but I do feel with newer technology and stuff like that, there's definitely some things that they upgraded that it makes it more sense. Here's an odd one. I like the frame mounted firing pin. I do. I've seen the hammer mounted one break off. I've seen one incident where that happened. We had to replace the whole hammer. But yeah, the key lock, that's to me that's such a that's nowhere near a deal breaker for me. I actually was more twisted about that Python ribs on the barrel than more on my key lock. But yeah, that doesn't bother me. But I would actually like a brand new made one, just to have it as one of my range ones, because then again, this kind of goes back to that white glove, nothing, shoot everything. I still shoot my vintage 29. I just don't shoot as much. I think I'd have a little bit more I'd run that 29, that newer one, a little bit more. Not to say I would get rid of my vintage one or anything, by no means. It's one that it took me too long to get it, but I do. The Model 29 is kind of like that. It's kind of like a Colt 1911. I don't need a reason to accumulate another. And it's not one that I don't really take off selling my Colt 1911s. They are kind of my pride and joy. So I kind of narrowed things down with that. But yeah, I do like it. So more of the comment says, save your money, work overtime, and buy it with new money. You will enjoy it more. There is some really good truth to that. I do appreciate that, Mike. Best wishes from Montana, and that's from Mike over there. So, well, it seems like everybody in the comment section says to go ahead and buy this thing. So we might have to do that. So anyway, we brought out some stuff to talk about. And one of the things, I started thinking about this because lately been shooting that lever gun. There's a Italian or Rossi 92 model that's really cool, and it's chambered in 4440. I have not really messed with 4440. As far as the cowboy cartridges go, and that's kind of what I refer to these as, the 3840, 4440, 45 Colt. I used to shoot 45 Colt all the time in a single action. That was like my go-to. I shot so much of that. I really enjoyed it. That was back when I first, I was just loading everything on a handheld single stage lead press, and always trying to, and I was like, collecting brass like crazy. But when I moved over and got into a 3840, because it's a lot more accurate, believe it or not. It's really cool, and the cartridge looks cool. It's bottlenecked and everything. And then 4440, never really messed with it until I got that lever gun. I bought it from a friend of mine. He was getting rid of it. I decided that maybe I should have one. But anyway, it's slightly necked. There is a slight neck to the 4440. Here's some interesting things about it. Actually, not too fond of it. Definitely for reloading, it sucks. I'm going to outright say it. These things, the rim of the casing is so thin, and no matter what, you can get Starline brass. This is Winchester. This is Remington. I got Starline brass that does the same thing. That's from it hitting the ground. Literally, it's got a dent in it. It literally flattened on one end. That's literally from it getting ejected from the thing and then hitting the ground. They're just fragile. Heaven forbid you step on one when you're out at the range. You're just going to crush this thing and it's going to be over with. And then buying a bag of this stuff, it's like $40-something for 100 pieces of this. I mean, yeah, you can go and buy it already made. I think what Black Hills or somebody makes this stuff, but I just assume reload it. But anyway, it's kind of one of those things where I was thinking about getting a single action in it to match the rifle. You know that how that whole thing goes. No, no. I'm going to keep this to a minimum. I'm going to keep it in the rifle, and that's about it. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way at all to buy anything more in 4440. Where it shines in the rifle, lever action wise, because the rim is not the rim, but the mouth of the casing so thin and it expands. What it does is it creates a nice seal inside the chamber and prevents so much blowback into the chamber itself. So actually, you can pretty much shoot this stuff, run a bore patch through your barrel, and be pretty good. You're okay as far as maintenance and cleaning. So that's kind of the plus. But yeah, I'm not too wild about it. Definitely like my 3840 better. You know what? I probably just dented it doing that. But I do like my 3840 a whole lot better. So anyway, that's a little bit of that on the 4440. You know, I've been kind of messing around with it. The other thing too is you can see my little bucket here. These are I had a friend of mine that was when I used to get some cast lead from him, that's some stuff he made up. Those are 427 diameter, 200 grainers. The newer copies, like this one being an Italian or Brazilian copy, or even if you get a Uberti or Piet or whatever, or Pedersoli, those, I believe they slug the barrels for a regular 429 or 430 or whatever. I think you're safe. Don't quote me on this. I would still, do your own research, but I did hear, I believe they're okay to shoot the standard 44 caliber, and we're talking 4440 in it. But however, here's where you run into the problem. When back to the brass, you're trying to open that thing up and accept, and with the mouth of the casing being so paper thin like that, you're really putting more stress on it, trying to put that bigger projectile in there. I think by going to this, and then also I heard that when you're doing the crimping and all that, you got to be careful with the full, 44 caliber diameter, the 429 or the 430 especially. You got to be careful to crimp, because you could buckle something and then it's not going to chamber in your revolver if you have a revolver. Your lever gun, not so bad, because I think you can kind of work that lever and kind of make it go instead of something hanging up. So there is something along that lines. Me, I just assume get the 4440 diameter stuff, 427. I think I can go down to the local reloading place down here in the downtown here and get lead 428 or something like that. I forget what the diameter is. It's true 4440 lead, so that's no problem. And then you can also go on to our old buddies, Bad Man Bullets. They sell proper 4440 diameter bullets that you can get from Bad Man Bullets and all that. So they used to be a wonderful supporter of our channel. They're great people. Their product is excellent. So, but anyway, there is that. So I brought out a couple other things. I wanted to bring this out because this is kind of a before I head out here. This is kind of my a movie mock-up thing that I did for this. I call this one, this is my Colt Series 70 that has gone through different types of grips. I love the different old school grips, and that's, me, just loving the old days of things. I'm an old soul, can't help it. But this is my Gino Foligno gun. A big obsession with the 1911 Series 70 for me, the Colt, is definitely all the original Seagal films. I grew up with Above the Law, Out for Justice, Hard to Kill, and all that. In fact, these are the hard to kill grips, the skip checker grips on it. If you actually watch or if you look at the poster, I've said it many times, you look at the poster, he's got his 1911 up there, and he's got those these grips. These actually are both the same. This is just more the traditional style. But in Out for Justice, he's got this the brown and black diamond grips. So that's cool. And I thought, how do I do that? I had to do that because I had to have a set of Gino Felinos myself. And so I ended up making those mock-up version of those for mine. And so, yeah, that's my Gino Felino. You know, and then of course the other thing that I was, you know, speaking of grips and stuff, I always found it really hard to get all full checkered, no diamonds. I don't know if you guys have talked about this. I actually do not like the diamond cuts on 1911 grips. The only one that I have that actually has that is the War One replica I got, and that's because that's what they originally had. So I leave it at that. But these are full checkered, flat bottom, so they accommodate the magwell. They don't, you know, they don't have the wedge, the beveled wedge on the bottom like that does. So that's these ones here. These are just standard, just dark brown, you know, whatever ones that you know, I made up right there. So that's fun. That stuff is fun, you know. And the usual stuff that I use, as you guys know, ballistol is something I pretty much always use. I've not deviated from that at all. My go-to oil and everything is pretty much that. My 4440 that I've been tinkering around with lately, I've been using Tight Group, which is working out really good because it's fairly clean as far as I can tell. We did fire about 100 rounds through it, and we had good luck with the cleaning process of that. Speaking of cleaning, ramrods, another great product, especially if you're running revolvers. But I find that ramrods cut the cleaning time down. For me, they're pretty much like oversized Q-tips. So they work wonders. I'm definitely a big fan of those because I don't like cleaning my stuff. So anyway, all right. Well, hopefully you guys had a, you know, thank you for being here in the show, and thank you for sticking around to the end of the show. This was a long one, and so definitely appreciate that. And we'll see you next Sunday or Saturday. Next Saturday. Tomorrow is Sunday. So hopefully you have a good Sunday. Be safe, and you know, enjoy the holidays. The weather is definitely cold now, so stay warm.